Hello ladies and Mental Gen, I'm Dr. Jackson Blitz, and in today's video we will dive into the LOZA Sherman event and how you can maximize your chances to obtain a free tier 6 premium tank. Before we jump into the video, however, if you like this kind of content, please like, share and subscribe, and especially comment under my videos what kind of content you would like me to cover in the future. Firstly, I will tell you about this event, and then I will show you a quick replay of the tank, because as you can see I already have it in my garage. How does the event work? So from the 12th to the 22nd of March, so a total of 10 days, for every class medal or ace tank you get, you will obtain parts for the LOZA Sherman. And if you have enough parts, you can exchange them for the tank for free. I have to admit that is super nice. So Wargaming is giving you a chance to obtain a premium tank for free just by playing the game normally. However, there are some important things to consider, and the first thing is very trivial. You can only get the third class, second class, first class and ace tanker medals in certain game modes, respectively regular battles and raiding battles. So if you think about, okay, I will just spam mad games, you cannot obtain these medals in mad games, so you cannot obtain the LOZA Sherman through spamming mad game battles. The second thing is, as it says here, you will need 215 parts. Third class medal gives you 2 parts, second class 3 parts, first class 4 parts, and the ace tanker gives you 5 parts. In my opinion, an average player can get a third class medal every 2 to 3 battles maybe, so it would take you between 200 and 300 battles depending on your skill. However, that brings me to my next point, because it is not just your skill that matters. The second most important thing, in my opinion, is the tank selection. So if you want to find out in which tanks you do on average the most XP, go to your tank selection and sort them by experience points, and there you can see the tanks in which I do on average the most XP. The more XP you get, the higher your chances are of obtaining a medal. Quick side note here, you can only get parts for mastery badges for tier 5 or higher vehicles. As you can see here, I have the Lorraine 40, which I only had one battle in, the WZ-111-5A, the STB-1 and the T92E1. In all of these I have quite an equal amount of average XP per battle. However, one thing you have to take into account is the amount of people that play these tanks. So I checked that before. I went to BlitzStars and checked the numbers of the last 90 days. So for the Lorraine 40, 2,710 people played it in the last 90 days. The WZ-111-5A was only 1,414. The STB-1 almost 6,000 people played it, and the T92E1 almost 9,000 people played it in the last 90 days. The reason this is so important is because mastery badges and class medals are based on your relative performance compared to all players in that tank. So if there are a lot of players, like for example the T92E1 with 9,000 players in the last 90 days, it is very difficult, or it is more difficult, to be in the top 90% or 95% or 99% of earned XP in that tank. However, if only very few people play the tank, like for example the WZ-111-5A, which was only 1,400 people, it's much easier to do better compared to all the other players. This is why, for example, my choice would be the WZ-111-5A, because it earns a lot of XP for me on average, because I do well in the tank on average, but also because not a lot of people play it. Lastly, about the game selection that can help you to maximize the XP you get in a game, you should play Supremacy, because first of all, if you cap a base in the beginning, as long as you hold that base, you will get experience points for the cap. And also what you should do is you should aim for track shots or spotting damage, especially if you're bottom tier, because assist damage gives you experience points as well, and that can really help you to maximize the average experience you get per battle. One last thing, you can buy some of these parts in the store. So as you can see here, 50 parts will cost you 800 gold, and so on and so on. So in the end of the event, if you are short a couple of parts, you can just buy the ones you needed and complete it. Also, you can grind more than one tank. So if you have the tank already, you can still grind it and then exchange the certificate for credits. This was it about the event. Next, I will show you a quick replay and explain how you should play the tank. Even though this is a Mad Games replay, it shows pretty well how you want to play the tank, and that is hold down and hold down only, because you have a good gun. Your turret armor is quite reliable, but your hull armor isn't. As you can see, the mobility is quite good, so you will get into position quite quickly. And yeah, this is the playstyle here. So I go into a hold down position. From that, I only show my turret, because the hull armor on the front is I think 84 millimeters, so not quite the best. The turret on the front has 63 millimeters plus the gun mantlet, which is 75 millimeters. So yeah, you want to go hold down, you want to show only your turret. You can see the gun is very good in dishing out damage quickly. It has a nice reload, 5.5 seconds. You also saw I got penetrated there once, and there I bounced a shot from the Comet. It's very important to note that even though effective armor on the turret you have like 138, 140 millimeters, that is not quite enough to bounce everything. So if that SU-100Y would aim at me, it could go through the turret quite easily. And that's how you want to play the tank. Go hold down and just farm the enemies, because yeah, you have a good reload, you have a good gun, you have a good average damage, and this is what you want to do. And to be honest, there's not much more about this replay, because yeah, it's a Mad Games replay, so you will see me go a little bit mad in just a second, because I see on the other side there is basically 4 versus 2, so we should win that side. And right now, me and the Hellcat, we are holding off 3 enemies, so yeah, we should be able to win that quite comfortably, also because we have a smasher. As you can see in a very few moments, yeah, I take a shot from the SU and the gun is a little bit moody sometimes. Yeah, that was my mistake there, bouncing on the gun mantlet. But still, I know I have enough DPM and I have the way better reload to kill that SU quickly. And yeah, this is all there is. I'm quite low health. I will die pretty quickly. I should have maybe gone around that corner, but yeah, the game is pretty much won, because yeah, it's a 5 versus 3 now, and the enemy tanks are pretty much dead. So even though this was a Mad Games replay, in my opinion it showed pretty well how you want to play the tank. Hold down and hold down only. Rely on your turret armor, rely on your gun, because both of them are quite nice. And yeah, you will have a lot of fun in the tank. That was it so far from my side. I hope you enjoyed the review and the replay. If you did so, please like, share and subscribe. And the only thing that's left to say is see you in the next one, and goodbye.